Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 19th, and right now we're looking at the infrared satellite imagery across the region. You can see BC, Washington, Oregon. Check out the high pressure helping us remain sunny for our afternoons, probably today and tomorrow. Some high clouds will be approaching. Weak frontal system falls apart as it reaches the Pacific Northwest for Monday morning. Stronger system will come across Tuesday, bringing some precipitation across the region here, but we have poor model agreement through the extended. We'll take a look at that as well. Try to decipher what's coming next after that Tuesday system, but we have big changes here in the model run, so we have to get some run-to-run consistency here before we start focusing too much on details through the extended, but we're going to take a look at it anyway. Taking a look at things, visible satellite imagery, you can see some low clouds across the Columbia Basin here, eastern Oregon, Washington, the valleys of Montana, BC, and a little bit through Idaho are really socked in. It's hard to burn those areas off, and I'll show you why here in a graphic in a moment. There are some fires burning out there up towards Astoria, some of the coastal range there, but I think these are prescribed burns. I think they're trying to get rid of excess waste this time of year. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. There was a fire burning down here as well, but I believe these are prescribed burns. So correct me in the comments if I am wrong there. But you can see a lot of the area is going to get some nice glorious sunshine today. Actually, some pretty warm temperatures through the Willamette Valley, southwest Oregon, up the Oregon coast of Washington. Sunshine's going to feel good today. Looking at Seattle, 51, just about average, and the sunshine makes it feel pretty nice here in the afternoons. We're going on day 12 or 13 here of no precipitation. We're probably going to go 2 weeks here in mid-November here with no precipitation across the Pacific Northwest. Very unusual. Enjoy it while it lasts, so you know we're probably going to pay for it at some point. Here's the fog impacts. You can see, you guys know where you are. You see that fog out there. Just slow down. It's not too bad, and it shouldn't be too bad here over the next couple of days. And then we should start to stir things up a bit with some Pacific Ocean systems moving into the region. Now here are the valley cold pools and temperature inversions. You got high pressure aloft, acts as a lid across these valley cold pools here, radiate of nighttime cooling, cold air drainage. You can imagine the stagnant air that just kind of sits there in these valleys, and you saw that on the visible satellite imagery, especially through eastern BC, Montana, portions of Idaho, and that's really can occur anywhere where you have these valleys here. And this is from the Great Falls. Nice graphic there, Great Falls National Weather Service. Gusty winds, if you're going off east of the Rockies through Montana, you can see that the timing here is this afternoon through Sunday morning. And again, it's much chillier out there, so be prepared for that difficult travel. Could be even some blowing snow around if there's still snow moving around the ground out there. Checking out the European, this is yesterday afternoon's run, so let's go ahead and put this into motion. You can see Sunday afternoon, no precip. Precip starts just north of Vancouver Island, I should say. And then you can see it impacting Sunday night, Vancouver Island, but it really falls apart here. It doesn't even bring precip to Seattle or Portland here. Maybe just some light precip for the Washington, Oregon coast. Tuesday system is stronger, slides down through BC as we go through Tuesday morning. Here goes Tuesday afternoon and night. Does move down through Oregon and then kind of out of our region here. And a stronger system that keeps showing up, but the position of it and the timing of it keep changing run to run here. So we're just going to continue to watch that as we go. You can see this system kind of spin up towards Haida Gwaii here. Pretty powerful storm, but it is offshore enough where it wouldn't have that much impact here on the Pacific Northwest. Wind-wise, it could bring a strong frontal system through the area next week, and we'll continue to watch that. And then another system with more of a impactful track here as it moves across Vancouver Island, but this is way out in fantasy land here. This is bound to change several times before we get closer to that kind of an event. Now looking here, apparent temperature in the NAM. This is not actual temperature. This takes into account wind chill with it. You can see as you go through the morning hours, every place is pretty chilly, but the afternoon hours, really west of the Cascades, southwest BC, Vancouver Island, western Washington, Oregon, down through northern California, pretty nice temperatures through the afternoon. I mean, look at southwest Oregon through the Willamette Valley. It's going to feel pretty nice out there. But if you go east of the Rockies or the Cascades here, things cool down pretty quick, especially east of the Rockies there through Montana. So heads up, be prepared for that if you're traveling out and about. The wind chills get pretty chilly, especially as you go into the early morning and late night hours there east of the Cascades. Now taking a look at total precipitation here, European on the left, GFS on the right. Good agreement through Monday and Tuesday. There's that weak system falls apart. Tuesday system comes down across Washington, but then by Tuesday afternoon we get some disagreements here as the GFS holds the precip mostly north. It's not too bad here, but you can see the European is a little further south with some of that precip here through Tuesday afternoon. Now through Wednesday afternoon, you'll see the next system start to approach a bit, but it kind of stays north of Vancouver Island here. Now we're going into Friday morning. We get a couple day break, as you can see there, and then the GFS and the European start to bring precipitation back towards next weekend, but I do not have much confidence in that at this point. This could change. It could move up or it could even delay further and push it further back. But as we go through early next week, you can see the European is bringing some pretty good precipitation amounts. GFS lesser, but it does bring some all the way down through Northern California here, and some pretty good amounts, especially Vancouver Island north. But the Cascades look to get pretty good amounts as well. And the European is definitely wetter, especially for Oregon here through 10 days, 240 hours there. Now taking a look here, Seattle, a little bit blustery with the front coming through here on the day Tuesday. No big deal. And you can see a smattering of some larger windstorms out here as we go through next weekend, but low confidence in that right now. That's pretty typical if you look at it into any extended forecast, November, December, or January here across the area. So right now we have a poor picture of what's coming after this Tuesday front. So we're going to continue to watch that day by day. Seattle, Tacoma, you can see the preset picks up again next weekend, and there's that frontal system on the day Tuesday. Now looking a little bit further south here, Eugene, Oregon, you can see Tuesday's frontal system just brushing them down there, maybe a few hundredths of an inch. Then again, another couple dry days here. Then the precipitation potentially returning next weekend, but we have low confidence in that at this point. I need to see more model run consistency. You'll see how this one got pushed back a few days now, and it's showing very light precipitation amounts. Some of the models were showing a much better precipitation event coming up that has been pushed back. So we're just going to wait and see. We'll see what it shows tomorrow. We'll try to get some more run-to-run consistency before we get into too many details here coming up. GFS showing about 1/4 of an inch here for the Tuesday system for Seattle. Better precipitation amounts for the Cascades. We'll check out snowfall potential tomorrow. A little bit of a dry spell there for a day or two later this week, and then maybe the return of some systems coming in through later next weekend. Again, very low confidence in that though. Now checking out Brookings, Oregon here, some nice weather down there. I mean, you can see highs up towards the 60s, some nice sunshine's been, you know, touching the Oregon coast and the Washington coast and the Willamette Valley, Puget Sound. These afternoons have been really nice, especially out in the sunshine there, and the southwest Oregon coast kind of highlighting that there. Look at some of these temperatures mid and later next week up towards 60 degrees, possibly locally higher in some of those areas as well. Now taking a look here, this is the GFS on the right, the European on the left. This is 500 millibars, 18,000 feet, general ridge and trough position. Ridge is a big dome of high pressure, basically. A trough is lower pressure, stormier weather here. You can see the big ridge over the Yukon and northern British Columbia here, and then it kind of gets wiped away here as we bring a trough through Tuesday. A pretty good model agreement with that system moving through Tuesday, and after that things start to get more uncertain as the European definitely builds a stronger ridge here through Thursday afternoon versus the GFS. Does have the ridge, but a little bit further east and a little bit stormier here across the Gulf of Alaska, and you can see the European kind of drops that trough further down off the coast. But the GFS kind of keeps that Gulf of Alaska troughing going here, but then it kind of retreats with it too, as then the European drops down a system out of the north. So big model disagreement here. I mean, this is pretty unusual to have this big a model disagreement for this period of time. Usually it's for a day or two and they start to latch onto a solution here, but they've been just wildly swinging back and forth. Although the European does show something dropping out of the northwest, the GFS shows something dropping out of the northwest as well. But it looks like a return to active weather is likely at some point, which is typical for this time of year. We just don't have a good handle on it right now. So we will check this out again tomorrow and try to get some better details going. Drought monitor, this is probably short term, but you can see we're still in moderate drought here for the Pacific Northwest, Western Washington. Exceptional and extreme drought for Eastern Oregon has been going on for a while. Hopefully we can put a dent in that. Down through California as well. Some pretty nasty drought conditions here through the valley, south of the Bay Area there. This was issued yesterday, week 3 to 4 temperature outlook, early December through mid-December. Check this out. The signal for below average across almost the entire Pacific Northwest is there, as well as precipitation above average here. So we look like we're going to get stormy and cool again, but at what point will this occur? What kind of details will we have? We just don't know at this point. So yeah, if you guys know about those prescribed burns, leave some comments below. I may have time to look at that today. I may not, but I heard that there were some prescribed burns going out there. So if you see that smoke kind of moving around the visible satellite imagery, I think that is why that's happening. But yeah, weak front on Monday, better frontal system on Tuesday, going to shake things up and at least put an end to the dry streak for much of the area here on the day Tuesday. And then very poor model agreement on the extended beyond that, really mid and later next week. We need better model agreement to get a consistent, confident forecast going. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. Leave some comments below. Click like, subscribe. You guys make this channel possible. Thanks to all my new members and subscribers. And we will do this again tomorrow and try to get some details on that extended forecast for you. So I will talk to you then.